Greetings, YouTube. Last week, the American Psychological Association declared that health professionals should not tell gay clients that they can become straight through therapy or other treatments. In a resolution adopted by the APA's Governing Council and an accompanying report, the association issued its comprehensive repudiation of reparative therapy, a concept espoused by a small but persistent group of therapists, often allied with religious conservatives who maintain gays can change. No solid evidence exists that such a change is likely, says the resolution adopted by a 125-4 vote. The APA said such research suggests that the efforts to produce change could be harmful, including depression and suicidal tendencies. This really isn't news to anyone who knows a gay person, because being gay isn't a disease. It is just who you are. If you're watching my video right now, you're doing so on a computer. And there was a man who helped found the very basics, the building block that became computer science. His name was Alan Turing. Born in 1912, he was a member of the team that broke the Nazi Enigma code during World War II. Because of this, he and this team helped us win that war. After the war, the British government discovered that Mr. Turing was gay. Being homosexual in Britain at that time was illegal. He was arrested and sentenced to forced therapy and medical hormonal treatments. The therapy and the hormone treatments drove Mr. Turing into a deep depression, and in 1954 he took his own life. One of the greatest minds of the 20th century died because the government was prejudicial and bigoted, because the society he lived in would not accept him for who he was. His contribution to computing hasn't ever ceased to be important. There are tests today based on his work. His algorithms are still used. He was a great man, and he didn't deserve to be put into a situation where the only option he felt he had was to die. Telling people that they can be fixed when they aren't broken is cruel. It's morally reprehensible. It shouldn't be an acceptable method of therapy in the least. It was as late as 1971 when the American Medical Association and the American Psychiatric Association finally decided that being homosexual wasn't a mental illness. And that's even sadder. That's not all that long ago. I can remember 1971. I realize I'm old, but it still isn't that long ago. I'm hoping that this report will help people, will convince families that they shouldn't ask their family members, their children, to go to these organizations. It will convince adults to accept themselves for who they are and to seek open-minded therapists who can help them deal with the prejudice and bigotry of society. Because trying to become something you aren't isn't ever going to make you well. And all these groups are going to do is teach you how to mask what you are, teach you how to live a lie, pretend you aren't who you are. And that isn't going to lead to mental health either. I applaud the efforts by the APA. This is a major step forward. I can't wait till this really begins to reverberate through the psychiatric community, because I think it's going to usher in a new day and maybe save a whole lot of lives.